welcome back to Amsoil Speedway. You're just in time for another feature race. The Super Stocks lined up here. We'll bring you through a rundown if we can get a caution flag. For now, though, we're going straight to the action. We've got 20 laps in all, the crown of champion of tonight's Super Stock feature. Here we go.
16 cars in this feature. Dan Tucheri out front for the time being. He's going to battle a very hot Patrick Heikkinen representing Eveleth. He's had a fast car all night as they go nearly 4 wide into turns 3 and 4. Awesome racing.
And what a quick turnover from the last race in the Midwest Modified. Jake Gondik was still on the infield as these guys started. Not even enough time for him to get to the pits. We're trying to get all these guys through tonight by 11:30. That's the curfew here. 3 more features still after these Super Stocks.
Willie Johnson Jr. always with a fast car here in the Super Stocks, battling it up against Dan Tucheri. It's good to see Dan up front, and he's really putting on quite a show there.
And Tucheri from Quebec Falls, Ontario, one of our favorite names, one of our favorite cities to say. And Tucheri, you can you see on his car, he's got a 2 and a couple of cherries. It makes it easy to tell whose car it is as they go by now with 17 laps remaining here in the Super Stocks feature.
Some other familiar faces up at the front of the pack. Behind Dan is Willie Johnson Jr. Behind him, the 29F of Dave Flynn. Behind him, the 30 car of Kevin Burdick out of Proctor. And in the 4th position, the 21F of Nick Ureskovich. Sorry, the 5th position, Nick Ureskovich.
And a week ago, Flynn did win the feature here in the Super Stocks, so keep your eye on him. Currently in the 3rd position, battling tight for the 3rd position as they go by. Once again, out in front, Dan Tucheri leading the way with 15 laps to go.
15 laps to go. Dan having the ride of his life so far for this season as he's holding off some very fast cars. Willie Johnson Jr., Kevin Burdick, and they go 3 wide coming out of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway.
They are not intimidated, Chad. Quite a gutsy move to go 3 wide there.
Kevin Burdick trying to force the issue. He's hungry for a win. He's been racing hard all season. Willie Johnson, he's been into victory lane a few times. Dan's had a tough run of luck here this season, but he's really showing what he's got tonight.
Looks like Burdick's got the inside track for now. Dan Tucheri leading as he's in the 2nd spot. Now, keep your eye on the 4 of them. Many of those guys with a chance at it.
Dave Flynn throwing his hat into the ring as they go 3 wide in the 2nd spot. Kevin Burdick currently your leader. 12 laps to go this time by.
A group of 4 out in front, and the rest of the field really spreads out along the track with 12 laps remaining here with Kevin Burdick out in front. Dave Flynn now, I got my money on him. Chad, I think after a week ago, he had such a great race here.
Dave Flynn's been pretty hot, and he's looking pretty sharp tonight. Kevin Burdick is kind of a bulldog up front. I wouldn't say he bullies anybody around, but he's a tough racer.
Absolutely, and Dan Tucheri, as we see, is kind of fallen off. He's back now in the 5th spot. But that caution flag might be exactly what the doctor ordered, is that to slow everybody down and get them bunched up once again.
We've got the 16S of Mark Smith from Solon Springs around in turn number 2.
11 laps, that's what the scoreboard reads as of now. Of course, these guys will get bunched up and restart this thing with Mark Smith at the back of the pack after that caution flag, depending upon exactly what happened.
Car fired up and back underway. Hopefully this caution won't be too long as Mark joins the rest of the field.
Burdick still out in front. Willie Johnson Jr. right there as well, along with Dave Flynn. Those guys pretty much 1 and 2 and 3 as we're almost halfway through this Super Stocks feature. Dan Tucheri there as well, as you mentioned. Good to see him up towards the front of the pack. Certainly a fun name for us to say as well as they get bunched up.
Tucheri from Quebec Falls.
Hopefully we'll take green here, and that's exactly what we'll do. As Burdick bursts to the front of the pack with 11 laps remaining here in the Super Stock feature.
Good start for Burdick, but also a good start for Willie Johnson Jr. and Dave Flynn as they're right on Burdick's heels going into turn number 3. Willie drives it in really hard. And we've got another car around. Few cars in.
You see the 91 there of Andy Davey who looks busted up along the side.
Tough break for your super stock points leader here at Amsoil Motor Speedway. Looks like the number 6 of Shane Rissling. I remember that correctly? No.
Shane Kissling.
Kissling.
Very close, yeah, from Sorona. That's all S's.
Rissling, Kissling, and the 77 of Scott Lawrence from Superior, Wisconsin, also involved.
As we take another look here and try to figure out exactly what happened.
Looks like Rissling got into a little bit of trouble there on the apron, and then, everybody just got kind of around. Andy Davey, contact with the 13 car of Patrick Heikkinen out of Eveleth. They got tangled up first, and unfortunately collected Rissling and Scott Lawrence.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was one incident, really. Just all those guys, like you said, low on the apron and kind of caused the crash because of that.
Like a disturbance in the force, and it just causes a chain reaction.
Dominoes.
Dominoes.
And we've seen that a couple of times tonight. But of course, though, the great crew here at Amsoil Speedway will get that figured out. And we'll finish this one up. For now, though, let's take a quick break. Stay with us here on the My 9 Sports Network. Welcome back to Amsoil Speedway here in Superior, Wisconsin. Another caution flag, but not to worry. We'll finish this feature out, the Super Stocks feature, as we see quite a few cars bundled up there around turn number 2, Chad, and kind of a mess, 3-4 wide as they went around, and not much any of those guys could do.
It's just another one of those tough instances on those restarts. Everybody's all bunched up and trying to make a move, take advantage of an open hole, and everybody sees the same hole.
Jerry, from your vantage point, what did you kind of make of that crash?
Well, it's quite a mess out there. A lot of people banging off of each other, slipping, sliding around a little bit, and I think probably that's, I don't know that anybody caused it. It was just as you said, a hole in the force.
A lot of cars trying to make it around a pretty narrow turn there, and that's what happens. Good hard racing as we see 11 laps left here in the Super Stock feature.
This should be quite the dogfight. We got a lot of heavy hitters up at the front of the field. Kevin Burdick, Dave Flynn, Willie Johnson Jr., Nick Riskovich, who we've all seen perform quite well this evening. I'm looking forward to these last 11 laps.
And here we go, the last 11 of the Super Stock feature. Who will it be? Who will take home the checkered flag tonight?
Kevin Burdick leading him down the back straightaway into turn number 3.
And he's been running so well here tonight. Not surprising to see him on top of the leaderboard. Dave Flynn, though, right there next to him along with
Dave Flynn and Willie Johnson Jr. They're
Willie
using
Johnson
the whole
Jr.
track up front. Scott Lawrence back in the mix after being tangled up in that wreck.
Burdick leads them by with Flynn and Johnson Jr. neck and neck right behind him on his tail. We've got 9 laps, over halfway through this feature.
9 laps to go. You got to wonder right now who's sandbagging. What's their strategy? You don't want to make the pass too soon and give the other guy a chance to do it right back at you. Kevin's just got to try and keep both those doors shut because he's got 2 guys a-knocking.
That's why they pay these guys the big bucks, right, Chad?
Yeah, the big bucks.
Something like that. As they go by now, 7 laps as they pass us here. And the rest of the fans. Burdick now starting to build on that lead. With Flynn and Johnson Jr., though, not giving in.
A little bit of breathing room for Kevin Burdick as they scream down the back straightaway into turn number 3.
The race is for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Behind them in 4th and 5th, we have Scott Lawrence. And the 21 car there of Nick Reskovich. 4th and 5th, him and Lawrence.
Kevin Burdick, Dave Flynn, Willie Johnson Jr. kind of spread out front right now. 6 laps still remain in a heated feature.
And don't forget, we could get a caution flag at any point, as we did earlier tonight with just 2 laps, and that changed the whole thing.
Another restart would eliminate any of the gaps in the field.
Kevin Burdick hoping that's not the case. Dave Flynn right behind him as they fly by us with just 4 laps remaining. 4 laps, that's all, to decide tonight's winner of the Super Stock feature.
Willie Johnson Jr. falling a little bit off the pace. And we've got a car around in turn number 2, but it's Patrick Heikkinen. Rough evening for Patrick. 4 laps to go, though, and this could lead to some exciting races. These guys are going to have to be very, I wouldn't say cautious, but they're going to have to be very careful on the restart. They want to hit it and not open up a window for anybody to pass.
Jerry, did you get a good look of that crash along turn number 1?
No, it was just a spin.